The wait is finally over. The new Man of Steel film finally came out. And you know what? I thought it was pretty damn awesome. And of course though, I would say that because I am kind of a comic book sort of nerd or fan particularly. But there's a lot more. I'm sort of going to talk about this, and this will be spoiler free. I probably will make another one in a couple of days. Just wait until everyone's kind of see it's over the weekend. Completely spoiler, but this video alone, spoiler free. Now, anyone who is anyone knows about the kind of like the origin of Superman. You know, he was the son to I'm going to really butcher this name. It's Jor-El and Lara Zor-El. Really sort of hard to really pronounce the name. You don't really talk about much in comics, just saying. And his actual name is Kal-El. He gets sent by a ship into Earth because Krypton is literally dying, and it literally does die. It explodes, right? We all know this, and obviously, and what's quite interesting is we don't see the start of him becoming like from a kid then all the way to adult. It's, you know, lands on Earth and then he's an adult, and all the sort of the things we see of him as a kid are all flashbacks, which I think adds to the story really tremendous and fits in pretty well. The story actually is quite different to sort of most comic book films, but also kind of like Superman sort of films entirely. I would actually say this is more like the Batman Begins, just in terms of the way the story has been sort of laid out, but it's a lot quicker. So, you know, Clark Kent literally does become Superman pretty quick in the film, and I thought that was pretty awesome. Now, let's actually talk about one little thing. A lot of people were saying, why couldn't Christopher Nolan direct this? Why had to get this director Zack Snyder to do it? Really good reason. I actually don't think Christopher Nolan, as much as a great director that he is, you know, he made the Dark Knight trilogy, Inception, The Prestige, Memento, you know, he made really such great classics. But if he was the director of this film, I honestly think he would struggle. He doesn't have that visual aspect that, say, Zack Snyder has, and he has directed, you know, comic book films. He directed 300 and The Watchmen. And even though I don't really like The Watchmen personally, I can't really argue, I can still say that The Watchmen still looks really good and visually is stunning. But if you ever kind of like seen Sucker Punch, you see like how really good he has a visual mind of things. So Zack Snyder, I think, was the perfect job for the director of this film. So what about sort of most of the main, we'll talk about mostly the main cast, right? Russell Crowe as Jor-El, he was actually pretty damn good. He plays the sort of the father figure really well, and also I think it's Michael Cotter, really butchering name, but the guy that plays Father Kent, he was actually really good. These two father figures different in many minds. Like Jor-El would think he would be more like a god upon Earth, but then, you know, Father Kent here, he's more like, he's just like, you know, trying to sort of like stay within the shadows, but also trying to save people. So obviously two different opinions on, you know, so, and I think that's actually pretty damn awesome. Now, Amy Adams as Lois Lane, I probably would say she has the Lois Lane personality, but I think the look, I think if she was kind of able to dye her hair a little bit, or maybe even put a wig on, I probably would say, but she was actually pretty good in the film. I didn't really have that much to complain about, and she really, to me, kind of did feel like Lois Lane. Obviously, now we're going to talk about the two big ones here. Henry Cavill, who plays Kal-El and, you know, Clark Kent, aka Superman, and actually he was the perfect, you know, role for this film. Look, he is literally the new face of Superman, in my opinion. You know, obviously you can't knock Christopher Reeve, he was tremendous, you know. I'd probably say he's more like the sort of the father Superman. This is a young boy Superman. But you know what? Two different opinions, and I would, if someone says that this one's better than that one or that one was better than that one, you know, I can't argue because, you know, it was tremendous. Obviously we're missing one other guy, but that is because that other guy looked more like Christopher Reeve and didn't do it well. But Michael Shannon as General Zod, I actually think he's really, really good, in my opinion. I think he kind of like, not kind of stole the show, but he was a menacing villain, and I love it. And his minions are like, you know, freaking awesome as well. Now, obviously the shots in these films, like, here's the thing, you've never seen a film kind of like this before, because once, like, you know, Clark Kent now Superman, like, all the action scenes are freaking tremendous. Like, you see them like the most like in the air, like they're you know, they're going through buildings, or, you know, buildings are falling down, and, you know, it's just like explosion happening everywhere. It's like, it's so fast paced, and to us that kind of feels like a Superman type film, and I completely love it. But there is a couple of things I really don't like. Obviously at the start of the film is, you know, it's good, it's okay, but there's some things that just don't get explained, and it just, you know, there's a couple of plot holes that that we see that you don't really see throughout the film, and I'll go into depth a little bit more on that in a sort of a spoiler review. But there's actually one big one I had, and it's the three characters from the Daily Planet. Obviously you have the chick, you have the kind of like the nerd guy, then you have Morpheus, and I just don't think they didn't really do much. They were just there to kind of add more screen time to the film, and I don't know if, not to say they were a waste, but they just didn't really bring much to it, and honestly that's kind of like a big downer, like, towards the film. But yeah, that's kind of all I've got to say about Man of Steel. So obviously I will recommend this crap, you know, to say you should watch it. You know, you should watch it in 3D, 3D D-Box, IMAX. Actually, probably best watching at IMAX because it was fucking awesome. That just bit a big screen watching, man, you know, oh my god, it was just so good. I want to see more of this Man of Steel. You know, I want to see more, kind of like another sequel. Hopefully this, you know, goes off to a Justice League movie. I think the tone fits really well, and stay tuned within a couple of days as I bring a big spoiler sort of review of it. But other than that, I will see you guys later.